This is gonna be a walk and talk, bro. You know, this is gonna be one of my thought dumps. Right here, I will put all of the lessons that I've talked about. All right, that'll save you some time, but if you want to hear more in depth, here we go. I've been thinking a lot about this concept of failure, bro. Every time I've failed in the past, I've learned something. Like I'm literally trying to think about a time when I failed and I haven't learned anything. Quitting on myself, you know, my sophomore year with my basketball team. Getting cut my 7th grade year. My junior year English final when I didn't do what I should have and I didn't get the yearly grade that I should have because I didn't put in effort. All of those failures for me, I've really gotten value from and they stick with me. I've been feeling kind of stuck. And what I mean is I want to acquire a lot of wealth and start a business and be the person I was meant to be, you know, have my body be all that good stuff, bro. And I'm like really trying to figure out how to do it. But what I'm doing is like, if that is a maze, meaning like there's a certain path or there's a certain like route to success. I'm not even trying anything. It's like I'm just standing here. And what is failure in that sense, right? If you apply what I just said, failure is like you go on the maze and you go a direction and you don't, you get lost. Or like you go a direction and there's a wall. That's what failure is. But at the end of the day, that's information. Like the fact that you went out and tried and experimented, that's information. You didn't fail, you learned. Because how is that failure? If you fail enough, you're gonna know every route not to take and then eventually the one that you're supposed to take will become evident, right? Because it's not, those who succeed are not one-hit wonders. They don't just pop out. Those who succeed are the ones who experiment. The ones who experiment the most are the ones who have the highest chance of succeeding. Because the more you experiment, the more information you have exposed to you, bro. And I'm not talking from a person who's done it. I haven't done it. I haven't experimented enough. This YouTube was experimenting for me and I found out I really liked it and it was awesome and all that. There's a lot of stuff I'm leaving on the table because any idea that I have that I haven't tinkered with or failed at, what's the point? I have no chance of solving that idea. I have no chance of executing that idea if I don't even try on the maze. You know, why am I leaving ideas in my head? I'm leaving shit on the table. There are so many books out there, there's information. Like, what am I afraid of if I go all out and fail? But then what is failing? It's learning. The only time you fail is when you quit. Because when you quit is when you give up on the game. But when you fail in the macro, or the micro rather, when you fail in the micro, it's just a bump on the road. It's just, you know, whatever. It's just information. You're getting exposed to it. But it's like this concept of what is your relationship with failure? And I know we all talk about it, but actually, like, think about it. Like, think about it for yourself. In your life, name me a time when you failed and didn't learn anything. Because every time I failed, I've learned something. So for me, failing is not trying. Like, failing is standing in the middle of the maze with my freaking duh and not like knowing what to do. That's failing. But experimenting is narrowing your options for success and giving you information. It's like, if you try a food you don't like, that's not a bad thing. That means you've expanded your palate because now you know what you like. You know, and everything gives you information. But if you're not willing to even try, then you don't deserve what you want. The fortune favors the brave, bro. And I'm not experimenting. I want to fall on my face and fail, bro. It makes me more interesting. It makes me like, but instead I'm standing in this box, you know? And being comfortable and on YouTube and watching anime and da-da-da, like, bro. And I know it's wrong, bro. And I know, wrong in the sense that it's not going to yield me what I want. It's not fulfilling. I know that I'm not attacking things, right? And obviously, yes, do I have a sling on? For sure. But I'm leaving shit on the table, even in my state now. I'm not attacking. I'm not. And it's pissing me off, bro. And I know that that's not the right thing to do. But for some reason, like, I'm just not doing that. Why? Dude, and it just comes back to this relationship with failing. Because my whole focus has been between now and when I go back to school. I go back to school in August. It'll be my junior year at school. And I'm thinking of what I want to do at school, but when I get to school, I'm gonna look back on this time that I've had, this time off, or not off, you know what I'm saying? But this time away from school, and really question, did I get the max out of it? Because I'm putting my time to use. It's not like I'm just doing nothing, but bro, I'm leaving shit on the table. For my ambitions, I'm leaving shit on the table, right? And it's like, bro, for what? For what? Who am I inspiring? You feel me? Who am I inspiring? I'm leaving shit on the table, bro. On the table. I'm hungry, bro. So why am I leaving food on the table? Why? And it's like, how many people could I be inspiring? How many people could I lift up from my position, bro? The more I do with my life, the better I can bless the kids that I have and the people in my life and inspire them. You don't know who you inspire, bro. It's true. I know I say that all the time, but it's so fact. You do not know who you inspire, bro. You really don't. And it gets to the point where you gotta be unapologetic about it. Okay, that's another thing, bro. Because, you know, usually when I'm recording, I kind of, if someone's coming in their car, I go like this or whatever, right? I kind of hide the fact of what I'm doing. Nah, bro, I'm ambitious. You think what you want. Your perception of me is not my opinion. How you doing? Hold on. I'm making a YouTube video. You want to get in? I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, that's all. Not a bad way. You see what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. Like, her perception of me is not my opinion. It's not my job to dictate. It's my job to dictate how I carry myself in the world. So that means you got to get out of your comfort zone at times, right? Just like I did. And I'm gonna leave that in there because it's true. Because think about it, if your ambitions are that big, how can you get them, how can you achieve what you want to achieve if you're not willing to put yourself out of that zone? If you're not willing to be judged, it's like, what is your opinion on getting judged, right? People can perceive me how they want, but I don't have to buy into that perception. And I need a massive perspective change on failing and perception. I think those are the two things that really hold a lot of people back. Their own perception of failing, what they think failing is in relations to their goal, when in reality, failure is the way to get your goal. You fail and you fail and you fail, bro, and it builds that muscle. And you learn. Every time you fail, you have new information. You're learning more about yourself. You can only fail so many times, right? Like, you can really only fail so many times because every time you fail, you make an adjustment and you pivot and you adapt. But more so, bro, it's the perspective or the perception. Even through their doubt, you stick with it, bro. It's the work. You only lose when you quit. And that's something that was really apparent to me when I stopped playing ball my sophomore year. I lost because I quit. That's the truth of it. That you lose when you quit and when you don't experiment. When you become complacent, you lose, bro. When you become scared to try, you lose. When you quit, you lose. Everything else is just a long game. It's really just a matter of sticking with it. Once again, bro, name one time that you failed and you didn't learn something. Because it doesn't happen. Because in failure provides information. That's humility. Each of my surgeries has provided me perspective. It's just how it goes, bro. And you gotta have this demeanor, like a sort of like unapologetic demeanor to you. Because most people are negative minded and most people don't have the ambition that you do. So when they see you doing it, it's out of place for them. And society and other people will impose that perception on you, whether they're aware of it or not, because they will look at you as abnormal. If I just pull up with a camera and people are walking, they're gonna look at me as abnormal, which is fine, but why are they looking at me like that? Because it's unusual. But just because it's unusual for them doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because think about it, every breakthrough was unusual to people at some point. Like, how did people look at the Wright brothers when they started flying, or they started trying to, and they said to the world, this is what I'm trying to do. Everyone thought it wasn't possible. So it was like, what are you doing? The same reason why I have a camera, it's like, well, how could you grow a channel? How that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. So you can't let if people have a normal sort of mindset, a standard mindset, an average mindset, and you're trying to do something that's beyond average, what do you look like giving into their perception? Like, you're gonna get judged, bro. That's part of the thing, and it's like, what's your relationship with that judgment? Because it's kind of a weird mind twist. It's like, why don't you welcome the judgment? Because the more eyes on you, the more people that are criticizing you, that probably means the more you're doing right. Because people want you to, because think about it from their perspective. If you prove them wrong, how do you think they feel? Like, because now if you have a certain belief system that's within a box and other people are breaking out of the box, they don't want you to break out of the box because they believe that the box is there. Because if you break out of the box, you're literally shattering their belief systems and you're forcing them to change their expectations. And people fundamentally don't like change. So that's why, that's the thing.